morning, everyone. It's Matt from Trail Rider Camp. Day 5, the last day of my 5-day South Central PA road trip. So last night, really nice night. Really like Cohen's Gap State Park. Highly recommend it to anybody kind of traveling through the area. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I was at spot 24 in Campground B, and Campground B was packed. I mean, almost every single spot was taken, which I was kind of surprised of. But like you said, up here on this hillside, there's 3 spots. There's 2 that connect to each other, 225 and 226, that afford no privacy, and nobody was there. And then you got 224 where I was at, which was awesome. Huge spot. As you can see, nobody up here. I could easily take a trail down to the shower house. They had a really good firewood system with nice dry big logs. So I had a nice night. Turned in right around 9 o'clock, just as the sun started going down. And as has been the case every day this trip, I was up at 5. I don't know what it is. It's just like the second the sun starts coming up, I'm up. So I got up at 5, got my coffee, did my thing, got packed up. It's now a little bit after 6, and so I'm going to hit the road. Again, today's plans have been kind of, put in flux by some family stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off driving about 20 minutes south of here to Buchanan's Birthplace State Park, another state park in the state park system that I've never been to, so I want to check it out while I'm kind of in the neighborhood. From there, then I'm going to drive like another 50 minutes, a little bit above Everett, Pennsylvania, to the Huntingdon and Broad Top Rail Trail. So that one, should be 20-something miles altogether out and back. So I'll do that. And then I figure at that point I'll kind of see what time it is, how I'm feeling, if I'm hungry, whatever. And from there home, it's probably about 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So there's probably a high likelihood at that point I'm just going to head on home. But again, we'll kind of see. And if I don't get to these, other trails that I'd originally planned to do this trip, well, they're close enough to the Pittsburgh metro area that I could easily do them, in a day trip. So that's the plan for today. Overall, good experience yesterday. Hoping to end here on a good note today. I did want to show this real quick on my way out, excuse me, of Cohen's Gap State Park. So this is the centerpiece of the park. This beautiful lake that kind of sits down here at the base of the mountain. And there's like a hiking trail around here. There's actually a hiking trail that goes up on the side of the mountain to a lookout. Thinking of doing it, and then last night I was just way too tired, so didn't. Nice big swimming beach here, lots of picnic facilities, and then the campground was somewhere over there on the other side amongst those trees, and then campground A is more in that direction. So really beautiful place. Well, here we are at Buchanan's Birthplace State Park. Very small state park, really not much here. All it is a few kind of informational placards about James Buchanan's early life. There's a nice, creek that kind of flows through kind of the main part of the park down here. And then there's some picnic tables and a pavilion and a set of bathrooms. And then you got this monument pyramid thing here, and that's basically it. I mean, it's super small park, but really interesting because the placards all talk about how James Buchanan was born and kind of grew up in his early life basically at what amounted to a frontier trading post. And you can kind of see when you look at the lay of the land in the area how basically this sits at a gap between some of the big mountains, and so they would bring in goods here. They would then transfer them to pack horses and bring them over the mountains to places like Pittsburgh. So really neat place. Glad I took the, again, 20-minute drive out of the way to come see it. All right, so I made it to the Huntingdon and Broad Top Rail Trail Southern Trailhead here. So this is just outside of Everett, Pennsylvania. And frankly, it really wasn't hard to get here. It's a little bit west of Breezewood and then a little bit to the north. And there's even, a sign on the side of the road kind of pointing the direction. And then you get up here off of the main road, and it's a very large parking lot. I was actually surprised with how large of a parking lot this is. So this is marked in Google Maps. There's a porta-john down at the end there. and then there's a little repair and air station right here. So I'm traveling light today. I'm only gonna carry my repair kit on the one side bag. I don't really need anything more than that. It looks like it's going to be load 20 something miles out and back, and like I said, most likely this is going to be my last ride of the trip before I head on home, but we'll kind of see once I get back here. So this is the flavor of the trail and the surface thus far. Some kind of crushed up gravel, and it has a very loose feel to it. I'm kind of slipping, not really getting much good traction, and I'm heading downhill, but I'm really not picking up speed at all. So surface is just so. I'm actually a little bit chilly. Kind of wish I would have worn a long sleeve shirt, but out in the sun it's humid. But back here in the shade it's kind of chilly still. So it's only about 7:30 a.m. and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the only person I see for a while. Just past mile 2, and the trail's kind of switched to a double track, but because of it the surface is packed down a lot better. So I'm definitely still going downhill, and I'm going much faster than I was the first mile. This should be called the Turtle Trail, because this is the third turtle I've seen sunning himself on the trail this morning. And all three of them kind of took me by surprise. I'd be rolling along and all of a sudden I would do evasive measures to not hit them. So, I have no idea about what kind of turtles are, but they are out in force this morning. Oh, this is a beautiful surprise. So I'm a little past mile 5. Turtle count is up to 6. And then you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden there's a road crossing, and then boom, you come across this, bridge over this river, creek, whatever this is. Mountains in the background. Really pretty. This house down there. I looked at Google Maps, and down below me here is the Racetown branch of the Juniata River. So that's what you cross on that bridge, and then you kind of come down a hill. There's some bigger loose gravel, and then you end up kind of running parallel to it on a more defined trail. So at around mile 6, you come down and you're on like a shared access road. There's some private residences down by the river here, and so this is a bigger gravel, but not terrible. But again, not something I would want to have a thin tire on. Still on that kind of shared gravel road, and it comes out to this big random paved parking lot thing. Not sure what this is all about. I don't see any signage. The mountain behind here, real pretty. We're up on mile 7. I don't know if that's a bathroom. Oh, this is real pretty. Real pretty. You got the river down below there. Mountains. So that shared use road comes out right up there where that brown sign is, and you come down to this extremely busy road. And I mean, it's not busy in terms of constant traffic, but there's some people really blowing through here. And then it's a little bit unclear, but there is signage, so you kind of come down across this little teeny bridge, and then there's a sign here, and it looks like you're gonna follow the road through this little village of Hopewell, I think it's called. So I'm gonna put on Komoot just to make sure I don't miss any turns. So the Hopewell trailhead, this little village of Hopewell. So there's some parking here. Another repair station. Very pretty rock face over there on the side of that mountain. And you're definitely just kind of going down these village roads. It's not really a trail at this point, it's road riding at this point, but it's, I mean, there's really nobody out and about. I saw one walker and that was it. Alright, I'm back onto trail again. And yeah, that little part through the village, very well marked, very easy to follow. Exact opposite of trying to traverse York. This was all super clear, and nobody was on the roads whatsoever in that small little town. So don't let that be a deterrent for you if you're somebody that doesn't like road riding. It's not really anything. And you got the river here on the left again. So I mentioned that so far I feel like I'm going kind of gradually downhill the entire way. So that means on my way back I'll be huffing and puffing a little bit. Another shared use road here outside of Broad Top. Small little village. It looked like there might be a deli back there, but obviously it's not open this early in the morning. But again, you always kind of know that you're on the right course because the signage here is really good. Really good. So you see the share the road, and then underneath H&BT Rail Trail. So, and these are quiet roads. So that little shared area was called Riddlesburg, and there's actually some parking at the end of the village there. And then you go through some additional gates, and you're back down here by the river at the base of this beautiful mountain. And so this is as far as I'd mapped in Komoot. I didn't realize that the trail, I guess, keeps going. So I'm going to keep going until it stops, or at least until I hit any kind of signage that makes me think that the trail is over. But this is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful down here. Well, to me, this seems pretty definitive. This is where the trail ends, maybe. I saw a sign back there in Hopewell that said that the trail was 12.6 miles. Right now I'm at 11.8 miles. And I'm not going around this. I think this is where it's over. So I'm going to turn around and start heading back. So here is that last parking lot, right before that last stretch of trail. So it says, again, it's clear as day, H&BT Rail Trail parking. And when I was down there, I met a really nice older couple, talking to them for probably 25 minutes. And we could actually see this huge eagle up on a branch on the other side of the river. I couldn't get any video of it, but like the wildlife on this trail has been phenomenal. My turtle count's up to 9 unique turtles. The eagle, I've seen some other big birds flying around. Awesome trail. There's a place in Riddlesburg that says like post office, deli, ice. I'm not sure if that's legit or not. But then there's more trail parking there as well. So that might be the only food option. I don't even know if that is. Should have navigated that a little bit better. That might be the only food option if it even is one. So I'm back to the double track, and this is a trail that, you know, in my opinion, I would not chance with a thin tire at all. Too much gravel, too much bumpiness, too much unpredictability on like the northern half of it. So far I've seen 4 bikers other than myself out, a man and wife, and then 2 other singular riders, and then like I said, I saw the two walkers. So I've seen more turtles than humans this morning, and just really a peaceful trail. I would say overall this trip, while I'm gonna ultimately not do the 8 trails that I had originally hoped to. I ended up with 6 instead because of timing. The way I would rank them was that yesterday's trail, the York, I always mess up the name, the York County Heritage Rail Trail, that was my favorite overall. The Huntingdon and Broad Top Rail Trail is my second favorite, then followed by the Northwest Lancaster County Trail, then the Enola Low Grade Trail, then the Cumberland Valley Trail, and then finally the Lebanon Valley Trail. So that's how I'd put them in terms of just overall experience, having done basically the entire main length of each one, basically out and then back. And then, like I said, the 2 that I didn't get to, the Indian Valley Creek Trail and the 5-Star Trail, are both much closer to Pittsburgh. One's off of the Donegal exit, one's off the New Stanton exit of the Turnpike, and so those are both ones that I can hopefully do just like in one little day trip, you know, together. Drive out in the morning, an hour, hit up the one, hit up the other, get lunch somewhere. So maybe I'll do that in a future video here as time affords it. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up my coverage. I still got 5 miles to go, but unless I come across something crazy, I'm gonna stop the video here for the trip. And I have about 2 hours then back to home, and should make it there by lunchtime as planned. So thanks for tuning in if you've been watching the trip. Hopefully you got some good info out of it. Maybe it can aid you in your own riding planning. And I'll see you next time I'm out on the trail.